Fishing tackle is expensive, and reels might be the most expensive piece that an angler will ever own. However, there are plenty of budget options on the market that can perform just as good as high dollar spinning reels. And today I'm going to show you what might be the best budget spinning reel on the market. By going through what this reel is and its specs, we will then go out on the water and run it through some tests to see how the performance is. And finally, I'll give you my opinion on if this reel is worth the money. So this reel is the Shimano Sedona. It's no secret that Shimano makes excellent spinning reels, but oftentimes their reels can land in the 100 to 200, if not even higher dollar range. This reel right here lands at only $79.99 and makes an excellent budget fishing option. I have loved this reel so much that I actually own 6 of them now, and I have put these things through the ringer. I have ones that are up to 8 years old, and they still perform as good as the day that I bought them. They come in sizes from 500 size to a 4,000 size, so you can pretty much fish for any species of fish you could possibly want to with these, from trout all the way up to saltwater fishing with this one reel right here. My favorite size is the 2500. It's the one that I use the most because I like to bass fish, but I've caught everything on this reel, from trout, walleye, even redfish in the ocean, and it has stood the test of all those species. Some of the pros of this reel is that it has a super smooth drag system, which is important with a spinning reel. You're often fishing light line, so the smoother this drag system is, the more fish are going to land because you have less of a chance of breaking off. The reel also is a very smooth wind and has a 5:4 gear ratio, so you can fish baits very slowly in cold water if you need to, or you can even reel a little bit faster if you need to fish a little bit quicker bait. If I had to bring up 2 cons with this reel, the first one would be that they do not come with a braid ready spool. With as popular as braid on spinning reels have become, you would hope that a reel would come with a braid ready spool nowadays, but it has a completely smooth metal spool, so you often have to put backing on here. It doesn't have an issue once you do that, but it's one extra step to set up your reel. So I run some 10-pound test monofilament backing on here and then tie my braid into it, and it creates the same effect as a braid ready spool. The other con that I have is some of my older reels that I've had for almost 8 years. Over time, the anti-reverse bearing has started to go, and it will back reel most of the time in cold weather. So the colder the weather, the worse performance you'll get out of that. Today, we are going to put that to the test in cold weather. As you can see, we are very bundled up in our snowsuit here today. Now that we've talked through the specs of this reel, let's actually jump up on the front deck here and talk through some of the features, how the performance is, run a couple tests on it, and see if we can catch us a fish to really put this thing to the test. Before we go put this reel to the test, a quick announcement from 6th Sense here. They have this Christmas stocking available in limited quantities on their website right now. You can order one and get it before Christmas. So whether you have a fishing friend or family member that you're looking to get a last minute gift for, or you're just trying to save some money on tackle for yourself, this stocking is loaded with an assortment of tackle of $150 retail value for the price of $99. In this stocking is loaded with hard baits, terminal tackle, and soft plastics, so you can cover all the techniques to fish on your local body of water. And if you would like to pick one of these up, you can do so in the description below and use my code Quince on the website. You will be helping me out a ton, but for now, let's get back to the video and test out this reel. So as for our tests today, we're gonna run 3 tests on this reel, all in very cold temperatures. I figured we gotta put this thing to the extreme test to see how good this thing is. I couldn't just pick a 70-degree day and go fish for bluegills and call it a great reel. So we have some serious tests we're gonna run on this thing today. Now, the first one being a casting test and the second one being a reeling test. Pretty much every reel should be able to cast and reel in smoothly. Obviously, a spinning reel shouldn't have a jerky reel to it, but it should have a very smooth effect. This is going to be a very subjective test, but we're just going to show you how well this reel casts and how smooth it is to reel it in. There's not really a metric that we're going to test it against here, but the third test is going to be very important. So let's take this thing for a cast and see how it does. We do have a couple baits we'll run through and cast real fast here just to see, because I do have a couple spinning rods set up on the deck. The first one's going to be a very heavy bait, so this is a 5/8 ounce blade bait. We're going to see how well this thing can cast, which obviously with braid performs excellent. And then we'll go ahead and reel this in and see how well it does as well. which overall it's very smooth. You don't feel like you're working against the reel. It doesn't feel like it's grinding or sticking. It's a very smooth reel on the way in. So for a budget spinning reel, that's an excellent feeling. But let's get this one in here and try and throw a little bit lighter bait that we have here and see how that one performs. Now for our lighter bait here, we have just a small hair jig that is with a little Z-Man bait on the back here. This, I believe, is 3/8 of an ounce. It's not super light. I could put even a lighter bait on, but we are on Lake Erie today, so we need baits to actually get down to the bottom. But let's go ahead and cast this. It's a little less aerodynamic and it weighs a little bit less. We have some wind coming at us. Let's see how she does. Again, obviously performs great. Most spinning reels are gonna cast just fine. If you load them up with 10-pound braid like that, they're gonna fly. And then reeling it in, again, performs flawlessly. This one actually feels even better. One, because this is the new model, and two, that hair jig is much more aerodynamic in the water. A Laker just jumped right behind me and we're about to go into test number 3 here. So let's get the other rod in my hand and let's get to work. So for the final test, obviously the only important thing about your spinning reel is your drag. If you have a terrible drag on your spinning reel, you're gonna break off a lot of fish. I fish for bass a lot, and as much love as I have for bass, they don't pull very hard. Occasionally you'll catch a big smallmouth and they'll pull a little bit of drag, but we wanted to put this thing to the test. We're out here on Lake Erie, 40-degree temperatures, and we're gonna be fishing for lake trout that can get upwards of 20 to 25 pounds and pull very hard. And to kicker, we only have 8 or 6 pound test on here for the day as our leader, and we're gonna land these fish with no problems. We're gonna put this drag to the test. We're gonna get the camera set up on the back deck, and hopefully we'll catch us some big lake trout and see how much this reel can withstand and if it's really worth the money. Let's cast on this school and see what happens.
Let's do it. Size make a difference. That's a fish.
Yes, it is, and I definitely snagged it.
Still got him?
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
You want me to go back and get the camera?
Maybe. Putting the drag to work. We got one. I don't think it's foul hook, or I think it's foul hooked because there's literally 1,000 of them on this spot, but we're gonna put the drag to test. You can see literally every head shake, it can pull as much drag. There you go. She can pull drag, no problem, no break-offs. And I have it cranked down pretty tight. I mean, there's 1,000 of these lake trout right here, guys. So if this fish isn't fair hooked, it was not on purpose. You can see this reel doesn't miss a beat when she's pulling like that. She can go ahead and pull, and there's no sticking in the drag. That's the most important part. Now she's running back towards me, and then she can go ahead and pull again. That is how you're gonna land the most amount of fish. And your high dollar reels are gonna have the best drag systems. But this one, so far, performing flawlessly.
That's a big one. Look at the size of that one.
Oh my gosh. There you go. That's what the Shimano Sedona can do. I can't even hold her. Massive on 8-pound test. We landed her no problem. The drag performed flawlessly. Granted, she was foul hooked. We are going to try and catch another one legally in the mouth, but that is a beast of a fish right there.
It's even more of a test. If you can foul hook a fish like that and still land it, they're going to burn your drag way more than one hooked in the mouth.
Look at her.
Hey,
We're going to let her go and try and get us another one. Oh yeah. Grab that camera. Just push the button on the thing and slide it forward. Yep. Man, this thing's pulling. She's running. Oh, look at that thing pulling drag. We got us another one. We are putting this reel to the test today. Let's see if she'll make another run. Yeah, she'll make another run. Gotcha. That is a big fish right there to be caught on 8-pound test. Drag held up excellent. I have been super impressed with this reel, not only today, but all 8 years of fishing with this thing. So if you want to check out a budget spinning reel option, it will be linked in the description below if you want to pick one up for yourself. Check out this video right here if you want to see why I like to use braid on my spinning reels, and we will see you on the next one. See ya, girl.